Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are not just summarizing a source. We are unlocking what might be the single most critical piece of literature in the entire saga.
It really is.
We're cracking open Shadows of Embrace, the definitive, complete origin story for Gabriella Henson.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been following the Unevil Thing saga, you know that for years there were just these huge missing pieces, gaps in her psychology, motivations that didn't quite add up, and these sudden terrifying shifts.
Right.
This book, the full paperback version, it's the missing roadmap. It explains everything that happened before she trapped Alan Jones, everything before she met Trey Alexander, and most importantly, why she became the evil thing in the first place.
And our mission here is absolutely crucial because this origin story, it doesn't just give us background, it actually defines the rules of the curse itself. The sources, they really demand we approach this with meticulous detail. We're covering the complete story from the prologue through all 22 chapters of her history and right into the epilogue.
And the structure of the book itself tells you something immediately.
It does. The narrative is framed by the prologue and the epilogue, and both of those take place in the story's present day, which is 2018.
So she's already deep in it. We're picking up right after the events of the final chapter, where she has Alan Jones chained up in her mansion's basement. Oh, our listeners got something to share. Let's hear it.
Hi, this is Keenan Bedford, and of course, I was in the last episode when we did the podcast, which was on An Evil Thing 6, End of the Dark Company. So, of course, now we are actually going to do one of the origin stories for today. And yes, Shadows of Embrace is one of the stories that, of course, that we will dive into before we start the next saga, the Legacy Saga.
Keenan, it is genuinely fantastic to have you join us for the deep dive.
Okay, let's unpack this. We appreciate you dropping in.
And you are absolutely spot on. We just finished A Evil Thing 6.
And now we're resetting to look at the origins.
Yes, before we jump into the Legacy Saga, which includes Darkman and Bloodline Connection.
Diving into Shadows of Embrace right now is the perfect chronological pivot.
It gives all the context for the Henson family curse.
Right, the foundation. It shows us why Book 7, Darkman, which focuses on Triton and the curse returning, happens at all.
It connects Gabriella's initial trauma to the events that plagued her son later on.
So knowing you're here, let's confirm the frame we're working with, as you pointed out.
We begin with Gabriella in 2018 having just trapped Alan Jones.
Which is such a chilling detail to start with.
It really sets the mood.
But this is before she encounters Trey Alexander, who is, the central figure of the original Evil Thing.
So she's in this weird limbo, seeking help, or maybe just a venue for confession.
Precise. Oh, go for it.
Yes, so the story actually is basically set in like the present time in the An Evil Thing saga before she met Trey Alexander in the prologue and the epilogue, while the whole story is basically in the past when she was a baby all the way up to she's an adult. So you kind of will see that pattern in the past.
That is a perfect summation of the structure.
Okay, let's unpack this. You absolutely nail the pattern.
The prologue and epilogue give us the present day, 2018, which is the depressing time you mentioned.
That moment is after the betrayal of Alan Jones.
And the main body of the book, the 22 chapters, is indeed her looking back.
It's her confession about her life, starting from her birth in 1997.
This deep flashback from baby to adult shows the pattern of the curse's influence.
We see how the darkness gradually groomed her.
It's essential to realize the prologue sets her in a place of confession.
She's sitting across from Dr. Austin Johnson, a respected therapist.
She's ready to confess the entire terrible truth of her life.
And she promises to take him back. Her words are key to the pattern.
Back before the blood, the betrayal, before the curse.
Before the curse, that line tells us the pattern is ancient.
It alerts us that the curse isn't just a consequence of her later actions.
It's an active entity that existed long before she did.
So the entire 22 chapters that follow are her detailed confession.
Detailing her life from the moment she was born in 1997 up to that moment in 2018.
That's when she chained Alan in the basement, completing the full accounting.
So let's start where she starts, looking at those patterns. Part 1, the seeds of all this darkness.
The history begins with chapter 1, which is titled A Light in the Darkness.
And the irony there is just tragic and profound.
Deeply. It's June 25th, 1997, at San Francisco General Hospital.
Gabriella is born to Savannah Baswell and Randy Henson.
Randy, a successful film producer, names her Gabriella, meaning light and peace.
It's the ultimate parental hope against the patterns he senses.
He's actively trying to impose a destiny of light on a child he knows is being born into shadows.
He wants this name to be a shield.
And the older siblings are immediately introduced, Victor and Adriana.
Victor, who's 7, feels an immediate strange warmth and connection to the baby.
This is a spherical link the curse will, of course, later exploit.
The family setting seems idyllic on the surface.
A spacious two-story home in San Francisco, but the tension is already rooted in the house itself.
The source notes the basement always felt colder.
It's a psychic coldness, a pre-existing pattern.
And later that night, Randy and Savannah discuss the voices.
Savannah feels they have to kill, or the voices will get angry.
This confirms the curse is a demanding vocal presence that predates Gabriella's birth.
And Randy promises to fight this darkness, specifically to protect Gabriella.
He's the first person in this generation to consciously try and break the cycle.
Which, as we know, often ends in tragedy in these kinds of sagas.
His protective vow is the foundation for her eventual resistance.
The narrative jumps forward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so now you actually see how Randy was in Gabriella's life, as you kind of see. Makes sense of how you see that connection when he was resurrected, when he got freed in the Dark Company. So you kind of see that story point, and you actually kind of see why Savannah is like how she is when we actually see her again in Bloodline Connection.
Keenan, that observation ties the past and the future together perfectly.
Okay, let's unpack this. You've hit on 2 massive points of convergence.
First, Randy's struggle to protect Gabriella and Victor from the voices.
That sets up his character arc for later in the saga.
When he is resurrected by the Dark Company, as you noted, he is still fighting for his children.
Even in An Evil Thing 6, Randy tells Brian that he hoped Gabriella would be the one to save the name.
He was a character consumed by the curse, but trying to fight it until the very end.
The resurrection just gave him one last shot at fatherhood.
And your point about Savannah is even more critical for the Legacy saga.
Yes, why Savannah is how she is.
Blue Line Connection reveals she is the original vessel and the origin point of the curse itself.
This origin story, Shadows of Embrace, shows us her descent into madness.
The voices and dark urges were influencing her long before Gabriella was born.
Her actions in 2000, torturing Tessa and killing Randy, were all part of the dark ritual.
She was trying to pass the curse on to Brian, her newborn half-Henson stepson.
So, when she returns in Bloodline Connection, she's not just a ghost.
She's the living embodiment of the curse's foundation, wanting to finish the ritual using Jasala.
This origin story is the foundation for everything that happens later.
Exactly, it shows the generational pattern. The narrative jumps forward 2 years now.
The story jumps forward 2 years to Chapter 2, Do You Love Me?
Victor is 9, Adriana is 7, and everything still looks normal.
But this is where the personal drama merges with the supernatural threat.
We meet Tessa Roberts, who is part of Randy's film crew.
She and Savannah form this close, trusting friendship.
2-year-old Gabriella says her first word, Daddy, bringing Randy joy,
Tessa mentions she wants to have a child herself.
unaware of the horrific fate awaiting her in that cold basement.
The curse always lies in wait, using family secrets as its weapon.
Savannah reads the children's book version of Shadows of Embrace to Gabriella.
Randy recognizes it and confronts her. It's not just a story.
He knows it's an instruction manual for the curse he's fighting.
And that realization triggers the first physical manifestation of the curse on Savannah.
She questions Randy's love, echoing the pattern they talked about.
Critically, her eyes momentarily glow red before she shoves him and snaps back.
Randy realizes the dark presence is actively influencing Savannah's mind.
His fight to save his wife is a race he's unfortunately going to lose.
Which brings us to the tragic nexus. Chapters 3 and 4 set. Hey, yeah, what's up?
Yes, so you kind of see how Gabriella's parents were, and it kind of makes sense of kind of seeing that pattern, kind of feeling how it will affect her later in her life. And of course, you finally know where the infamous "Do you love me" line came from. It came from her mother.
That is a phenomenal connection, and thank you for highlighting it, Keenan.
Okay, let's unpack this. You've identified the origin of one of the most chilling lines in the whole saga.
That phrase, "Do you love me?" is Savannah's personal trauma.
It's the immediate result of the dark entity influencing her.
The source confirms that she asks Randy, "Do you love me?" right before her eyes glow red for the first time.
This line isn't a simple request for affirmation later on.
It's the curse's way of demanding total, undivided, and destructive devotion.
And it sets the pattern for Gabriella's entire life.
Every time Gabriella uses it later, with Daniel, with Nathan, with Alan, it's not love she's seeking.
She is reenacting her mother's possession, testing loyalty before she enacts the curse's will.
You're right, it explains the cycle of betrayal and obsession.
And that cycle joins us right to the tragic nexus.
Chapters 3 and 4, set in January 2000.
Randy's career explodes, forcing him on long business trips away from home.
And with his protective presence gone, Savannah completely unravels.
We get the devastating truth. Tessa Roberts is visibly pregnant with Randy's child.
The affair is the ultimate personal betrayal, which the curse weaponizes instantly.
Savannah drugs Tessa, drags her to the cursed basement, and chains her there.
She accuses Tessa of creating an evil thing, referring to the unborn child.
The tragedy hits on a cosmically significant date.
January 25th, 2000, which is also Randy's birthday.
Tessa gives birth to a baby boy, Brian, while she is chained up.
And Savannah is planning a horrific sacrifice ritual.
She shoots Randy, who dies trying to free Tessa and protect Brian and Gabriella.
He dies with a protective spell. Take care of Brian and Gabriella.
Savannah then turns the gun on herself, cementing the legacy in blood.
The psychological devastation is discovered by 10-year-old Victor.
He hears the bang, finds the bodies, frees Tessa, and calls 911.
He immediately realizes Brian is his baby half-brother, compounding the mystery.
The state rules the deaths a murder-suicide and separates the children.
This dispersal is fated and part of the curse's plan to keep in the family.
Victor goes to the wealthy, mysterious Lice family in Los Angeles.
Right to the heart of the saga's main enemy, the Dark Company.
Adriana moves to Florida, and Gabriella goes to Christine Kazmaier.
Christine lives close to Tessa and Brian, maintaining that thin thread of connection.
It keeps her tethered to the light of her father's spirit.
It's a brilliant, terrifying setup for the next act of her life.
So part 2 slows.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, so like you kind of now see how that story elements that were in the main saga of when Trey was researching about Gabriella's family and all that stuff, and now you kind of see the full picture of what happened to Randy and Savannah, and you kind of see how Tessa fits into the picture and how Brian was born.
That is a phenomenal summary. It shows how critical this origin story is.
Okay, let's unpack this. You've connected the dots completely.
Everything Trey Alexander learned about Gabriella's history during his research in An Evil Thing 3 was accurate.
But those were just fragments. Now we have the full, terrifying context.
We see the full picture of the murder-suicide and the exact reason why Tessa was there.
It wasn't just Savannah's rage over the affair.
Savannah was torturing Tessa and planning a dark ritual involving the newborn Brian.
The source confirms Savannah was trying to sacrifice Brian to fully unleash the curse.
And that Brian's birth on January 25th, the same day Randy died, is what threw the ritual off.
This makes Brian Roberts the ultimate survivor and a key figure in the saga's light side.
It also perfectly explains his later role.
Brian, the child born in the basement, grows up to be a cop who fights the darkness.
He is the protector of Triton and later Victor, fighting the curse throughout the series.
And it sets the stage for the next phase of Gabriella's life.
This next section shows how the curse subtly finds its next vessel after the trauma.
We skip ahead 1 year to 2001, Chapter 5, Echoes of Home.
Gabriella is 4, living with Christine and Blake Kazmaier.
Christine is warm, Blake is strict and often unsettling.
Now, because of that crucial connection with Tessa, Christine takes Gabriella to see Brian.
When Gabriella and Brian touch hands, the energy of the curse and the counterforce meet.
Gabriella sees Randy Henson's spirit standing over them, looking calm, strong, and proud.
This confirms Randy's positive influence is still fighting.
Brian is, ironically, the potential light against the curse, born from the chaos.
Gabriella tells Tessa she saw Daddy with Brian, proving the spiritual link.
Tessa gives her keepsakes, dolls, the picture book, and family photos.
These are anchors, ensuring Gabriella carries the awareness of her family's true history.
And this slow haunting continues in Chapter 6, first day of school in 2002.
Gabriella's 5, starting school, consciously trying to be smart and strong.
She makes her first friend, Billy James, a real touchstone of normalcy.
During recess, she hears a clear, disembodied voice call her name. Gabriella.
Later, on the way home, she sees her father's spirit on the playground.
It confirms she's watched over, but also that she's touched by the supernatural.
This makes her a clear target for the darkness.
Exactly. And the external world provides the chaos the darkness needs to fully enter.
We jump forward to 2007. Yep, go on.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Randy is basically there, like trying to keep her protected from the curse. So it's kind of like he was her guardian, and of course, you now kind of see how Gabriella met Billy James, who actually that we do see in the main saga. So it kind of connects back to that as well.
Keenan, that's exactly right.
Okay, let's unpack this. Randy is absolutely her guardian.
He is the light battling the darkness.
He told her that he loved her.
He wanted to keep her safe from the curse.
It's his protective vow, the light against the shadows. You mentioned Billy James.
Billy is a key connector here.
Billy is the friend who gives her a touch of normalcy.
The connection to the non-cursed world.
The source confirms they meet in 2002.
And later, in the main saga, Billy recognizes her.
He tells Trey that Gabriella was affected by the curse.
And Trey was a hero for ending her life to free her.
Billy becomes part of Iron Heroism later on.
And he joins the Special Forces, remember?
That's the same Billy who gives her a crucial trick for survival.
A trick she uses later when she runs from Blake.
He shows her how to climb out the window to hide.
A small act of friendship that saves her life.
That friendship provides the foundation for her redemption later.
Because even her victims, like Roger, are sent to Billy.
Roger tells Trey that Gabriella sent him to Billy as a gift.
So even in her cursed state, she's still sending people toward the light.
It confirms Randy's guardian influence never completely leaves her.
He is fighting for her soul until the very end.
We jump forward to 2007, chapters 7 and 8.
A 5.0 earthquake hits San Francisco, destroying her school.
This external chaos allows the Dark Voice to directly assault her.
The Whispers follow her, demanding vengeance. Get revenge.
She tries to ignore it, but the curse chooses its time.
January 25th, 2007, exactly 7 years later.
This date is a clear nexus point for the curse's realm.
And this is the moment of initiation for Gabriella.
She jolts awake, paralyzed as a dark figure stands at her bed.
It's made of smoke and shadows, eyes burning crimson.
The entity's command buzzes into her mind, terrifyingly clear.
It's your turn now. You will carry the vengeance. Kill for us.
It's a permanent violation, a recruitment, and a violation of Randy's vow.
And the trauma forces her to hunt for answers immediately.
She starts her diary, noting the January 25th date's significance.
The next morning, she finds a paper on Blake's desk. Dark Company.
She searches online and reveals its shadowy ties to the Illuminati.
Run by Right and Lie, the Dark Company leader.
This is where the origin story merges with the larger saga lore.
She sees Darnell Alexander, the Iron Heroism leader.
She was murdered on January 25th, 1999. Another Jan 25th.
She notes Darnell Alexander looks almost exactly like her father.
This confirms the Alexanders and Hensons were targeted by the same entity.
Parallel bloodlines tied to the same ancient trauma.
Gabriella suspects her foster father, Blake, is involved with the Dark Company.
This immediately leads to conflict in Chapter 9, The Warning.
Blake catches her near the computer and gives her a cold warning.
Her friend Billy James has to climb out the window to escape being discovered.
This minor detail, Billy's trick, becomes key to Gabriella's survival later on.
Blake's control quickly spirals into physical abuse.
He catches her closing the window, calls her a little brat, and hits her.
This physical abuse provides the emotional fracture the curse needs.
The external world reinforces the dark voice, telling her to take revenge.
That night, Randy's spirit makes one final attempt to save her.
She dreams she's back in her old home, finding Randy crying.
He warns her, don't go down the path I did like me and your mother.
It's a plea for her to succeed where he failed.
It's the last time we see his positive, protective energy.
Because in Chapter 10, Shadows of Her Blood, the curse makes its countermove.
The curse forces him on impersonation to show Gabriella a vision. A gruesome alternative version of January 25th, 2000.
This is calculated trauma designed to shatter her resistance.
In this vision, Savannah slices Tessa's throat after shooting Randy.
Then Savannah approaches Gabriella, chanting the terrifying poem.
The shadows whisper soft embrace and declares, you're next in line.
This vision establishes the sheer brutality of her lineage.
But she still fights. She wakes up and writes in her diary.
She accepts the truth. I'm beginning to see what my blood carries, but vows resistance.
But I won't be like them. I can't.
And the forces are working on all fronts. The next day, Blake does a complete 180.
He's kind. He coops lasagna and mimics her parents' words.
She connects his sudden change to the darkness he carries internally.
She's battling a generational curse while navigating a foster home tied to the saga's main enemy.
So the story jumps ahead 9 years.
It's June 2016, Chapter 11, Running for the Dark. Gabriella is 19.
She's graduating high school with honors, pursuing intelligence and strength.
But Blake's abuse has gotten worse, and Christine is pregnant.
Her friend, Billy James, leaves for Special Forces training.
And that served as such a stark contrast to what happens next.
That same day, the abuse peaks. Blake confronts her and attacks her.
He's choking her to death. But her past training saves her.
The martial arts training Christine gave her allows her to fight back.
And crucially, she escapes by climbing out the window, using Billy's trick.
She runs until she collapses at a gas station.
Roger Stockton, an investment worker, finds her, listens without judgment, and offers a safe place.
Roger becomes her first boyfriend and the genuine stability she craved.
He gets her a job at Mickens Power Intelligence, a tech firm.
She meets her new team, who are all destined to become Dark Company super soldiers.
She makes this final desperate vow, this is for you, Dad, I'm not going to let the darkness win.
And for 7 months, she maintains this stability.
Chapter 12, Fragments Reunited, shows her searching for closure. She reconnects with Christine.
Christine reveals her son, Valor, was born.
And confirms Blake was only acting strange until she gave him an herbal remedy.
This suggests the possession is a sickness that can be temporarily treated.
And Gabriella resolves that the only way to escape the curse is to forgive Blake.
Then the family reunion happens. She meets her brother, Victor.
Victor, now 26, is a private investigator who left the Toxic Lid family.
And she meets Brian, now 17. Her life is coming together.
But the darkness is closing in through Victor. Chapter 13 confirms he's fighting the same internal battle.
He's having dark nightmares, hearing voices telling him to kill.
And he confirms her childhood research. Dark Company is run by his stepbrother, Shen Li.
Victor urges Gabriella to meet Shen Li, suggesting confrontation might be the only way.
Before she can process that, Roger gives her the fatal gift.
He surprises her with her own furnished mansion near San Diego.
On a road named Shitachi Yard, the location is not an accident, it is fate.
Let's talk about the mansion's history, because this is key to the curse.
The house was built in the late 1700s by a native warrior named Shitachi.
Before his people were wiped out in 1780. That date, 1780, is the crucial reveal.
It's the origin year of the Henson curse.
The mansion isn't a safe haven, it's a magnet for the curse's power.
The house itself becomes an active character in Chapter 14.
She is deeply disturbed by the cold, damp basement.
She notes the cracked iron door leading to a dark tunnel downward.
That small detail will be the difference between life and death for 2 victims.
Once Roger leaves, the supernatural activity begins instantly.
She hears a whisper call her name, Gabriella.
She finds the library door open. The curse was waiting for her to be alone.
The welcome arrives violently in Chapter 15. Welcome to the family.
At 3 a.m., a deliberate thump from the basement calls her down.
Standing in the cold basement are the figures from her nightmares.
The man and woman grab her. This is the definitive moment of possession.
The woman, Shenandria, chants and touches Gabriella's forehead.
Her vision explodes with red light, and her own eyes begin to glow.
The man, Ryan Henson, delivers the chilling welcome.
Welcome to the family. You're next to continue the curse.
She feels the darkness consume her. The vessel is fully functional.
And the first order of business is recruitment of war.
The next morning, she meets Daniel Johnson, a handsome new hire.
She accepts a date, driven by an unfamiliar curiosity laced with the curse's power.
The curse is testing its new tool. The shift is immediate in Chapter 16, Inner Demos.
Daniel becomes distant after just 5 days. He asks to just be friends.
This rejection triggers the emotional wound left by her father's betrayal.
And it unleashes the darkness. She drives him to the coastline.
As he confesses his love, she turns into the vessel of vengeance.
She reveals he was never supposed to be anything more than a step forward.
And she slashes his throat, watching him die with a chilling smirk.
The final line is pure evil. 1 down, 5 to go.
The curse is fully manifested as calculated cruelty.
She delivers Daniel's body to Dark Company, directly to Shen Li.
This solidifies the meaning of the techno-supernatural enemy.
Shen Li confirms she's powerful and offers a deal. Power for destroying Mickens' power.
Right, eliminate the remaining 5 targets.
Daniel's body is revived and turned into a super soldier.
This confirms Gabriella's new role as the Maker.
The biological source of Dark Company's enhanced forces.
But the remnants of her humanity fight back in Chapter 17, Gabriella's Curse.
She wakes up with fragmented memories and finds the bloodied knife, horrified.
Her guilt compels her back to the basement, seeking answers.
The 2 figures are waiting. They reveal their names, Ryan Henson and Shenandria.
And they detail the complete origin of the curse.
They were betrayed and murdered by white outcasts on January 25th, 1780.
At this very location, the mansion on Shitachi Road.
The constant recurrence of January 25th is now understood.
It's the anniversary of... Oh, yeah,
Well, of course, their spirits are inside the house because Shitachi actually has their spirits sealed in the basement in the secret tunnel. But of course, their origins, of course, is Arizona, which you did learn in End of the Dark Company.
That is a phenomenal connection, Keenan. You're combining lore from different books.
Okay, let's unpack this. You are absolutely right that Shitachi's role is key.
We learned in the later books, specifically in Evil Thing 6, that Shitachi and his daughter Alondra were the good ancestors.
They sealed the evil Henson ancestors, Ryan and Shenandria.
And the mansion, Shitachi Road, was named after Shitachi himself, the original curse creator who was reborn as a skinwalker.
So Ryan and Shenandria's spirits being in the house means the seal was weakening or broken.
It was almost certainly the curse energy from Gabriella years ago that allowed them to be reborn.
That location, the mansion on Shitachi Road, is where the rebirth begins.
And you are completely correct to bring up Arizona.
The Arizona location is the ultimate origin point, the ritual site of the curse itself.
It is the place where Ryan and Shenandria were originally buried after their murder in the 1700s.
That's where Sean Lee heads to finish the ritual in An Evil Thing 6.
So this mansion is the nexus point where the ancient sealed darkness reemerges.
It's the anniversary of their original betrayal and death, January 25th.
The acceptance is sealed when a secret passage opens, revealing the Henson family curse book.
She reads Ryan's story, accepts her destiny, and is urged to get revenge.
And the acceptance is immediately followed by a devastating, calculated massacre.
2 days later, she hosts a party for her remaining co-workers.
Peter Jackson, Ray Holmes, Gary Brasher, Stephen Bedford, and Troy Washington.
The source meticulously details the killings. Peter is murdered upstairs.
And she says, "Poor Peter, eat your heart out. So cruel."
Ray and Gary are murdered outside with a shovel.
Here, the techno-supernatural threat shows its full potential.
Stephen and Troy find Peter's body, and the figure of Ryan Henson appears.
He possesses Peter's newly revived body and absorbs Stephen's life energy,
This confirms the ancestral spirits can manifest, possess, or drain life force.
making these dark companies super soldiers far more than human enhancements.
Troy runs, but Gabriella confronts him, stabbing him in the stomach.
She is now fully operational and completely possessed.
She calmly cleans up and delivers all 5 bodies to Shen Lai at Dark Company.
The men are reborn as super soldiers, and she is their maker.
But Chapter 18 shows the internal war is still raging. She's consumed by voices.
The tension spikes when Roger Stockton texts her, "He's coming home early."
The curse panics at the thought of losing control of the vessel.
In a desperate attempt to find normalcy, she meets Nathan Robertson, a new coworker.
She accepts a date, hoping for a return to the person Roger loved.
But the curse will not allow it. Roger returns, excited to start his new company.
Gabriella panics when he tries to leave and chains him in the cold basement.
It's the ultimate betrayal, mirroring Tessa Roberts' imprisonment earlier.
This is me, the me that's been buried for centuries.
The descent culminates with Nathan's visit in Chapter 19. He notes the mansion's eerie silence. Gabriella gives in entirely to the voices.
Ryan and Shenandria appear, compelling her to kill. She is fully possessed.
Nathan investigates a thump and finds Roger chained in the basement.
Roger warns him she trapped me down here.
Gabriella appears, points a gun at Roger, and asks the fateful question.
Do you love me? That maternal line surfaces again.
And then she shoots Roger dead.
Nathan tries to fight back, but is knocked down. In Chapter 20, Resurgence, the attack is savage.
Gabriella repeatedly stabs him. The blade came down once, twice, over and over again.
His last words confirm that the curse feeds on the pain of broken trust.
In a fragmented moment of guilt, she drops the knife. What have I done?
But the pattern is already set. She still drags both bodies to Dark Company for enhancement.
She confronts Shenli, declaring, "You didn't create an evil thing, I did."
She is asserting that the power belongs to her bloodline, not the corporation.
She agrees to one last task, take over Carlton Browser service.
And Victor confronts her, concerned she's becoming like their father, Randy.
A week later, she starts her new job, but she is still fighting internally.
She's using a seance book ritual to keep the curse at bay.
She meets her new team, including Aaliyah Thompson and Alan Jones.
She is immediately drawn to Alan and begins dating him.
Chapters 21 and 22, An Evil Thing and Deception, close the circle.
10 peaceful months pass with Alan Jones. A genuine connection.
He surprises her with a weekend at Carrie Light Luxury for her birthday.
This period of peace is the calm before the storm.
The curse will not tolerate healthy love.
Gabriella invites Alan and Nick Carlton to the mansion.
She kisses Nick and asks, "Do you love me?" That toxic question surfaces again.
Alan sees the betrayal and breaks up with her immediately. We're done.
The betrayal is the trigger. Gabriella snaps.
Her eyes glow bright red. Alan and Nick run, using the basement tunnel.
Nick escapes through the trapdoor, but Gabriella grabs Alan's leg.
Alan's pulled back into the darkness. Nick flees.
Gabriella drags him back, excited that she has a man for her birthday.
Alan Jones is chained and left to suffer. The origin story is complete.
She visits him, smugly telling him, "I already have gotten away with this."
She says she's bored now and plans to find someone new. Oh, back to our listener. What's up?
Yes, and now you see that how, where An Evil Thing basically started, of course, from the first book, and you kind of see how that story basically, all the scenes that fits how the prologue was in the first book.
Okay, let's unpack this. You brought us right back to where the saga originally began.
You're completely right, Keenan.
We just saw the origin of an evil thing.
And this detailed confession perfectly matches the fragments Trey Alexander learned in the first book.
Specifically, the prologue of An Evil Thing 1 opens with this exact scene.
Gabriella has Alan Jones chained up in the basement.
She has gone from the victim of a curse to its active instrument.
She visits Alan, telling him she's bored and planning to find someone new.
That's the cold, calculated super soldier maker speaking.
This brings us to the epilogue, Shadows of Embrace.
We return to the therapy session with Dr. Austin Johnson.
Gabriella has finished laying out the entire terrifying roadmap of her life.
Dr. Johnson offers hope, suggesting healing starts when you choose to let go.
But the immediate reality undercuts the therapy entirely.
That evening, her phone buzzes with a message.
It's about a new hire, starting tomorrow.
Trey Alexander, the target has arrived.
She looks at the seance book she was using to suppress the curse.
This book reveals the definitive pathway to cleansing the soul.
The soul can only be cleansed by the touch of one with a pure heart.
It defines that pure heart as true love or true loss.
The entire saga is now perfectly framed by these two possibilities.
Trey Alexander is the potential true love.
Alan Jones, chained in the basement, is the true loss, already suffered and caged.
She visits Alan one last time before Trey arrives.
She tells Alan she might have found someone new.
A new guy just started at Carlton. Maybe he'll love me forever.
She kisses his cheek and whispers the terrifying question one last time.
I love you, Alan. Do you love me?
And Alan, paralyzed by fear and despair, cannot respond.
The Shadows of Embrace have just begun with Trey Alexander next.
This origin story is the fundamental missing puzzle piece.
It provides the deep context our listener needed for years.
Let's look at what this meticulously detailed history confirms about the larger universe.
It confirms the curse lineage is ancient and specific.
Gabriella, Victor, and Brian are all confirmed children of the cursed line.
The curse started with Ryan and Shenandria Henson in that mansion in 1780. And as you mentioned, the anniversary of their death is a nexus point. January 25th is the generational anniversary of death and rebirth for this darkness. And the counterbalance is explicitly defined here. Brian Roberts, Tessa's son, is the light tied to Randy's protective spirit. He's the natural, legitimate counterforce to the Henson curse.
This also gives critical technical context to the enemies they fight later.
Shenli's use of Gabriella to create super soldiers.
It establishes the techno-supernatural nature of Dark Company's forces.
Its ancient, blood-fueled power fused with advanced technology.
Gabriella is the biological and spiritual source of that power.
It explains why these enhanced individuals are so difficult to kill.
The sheer detail confirms that the horror wasn't random.
It was inherited, nurtured, and actively recruited.
The An Evil Thing saga is perfectly framed by this origin story.
Alan Jones is chained up in the basement.
She is a calculated super soldier maker actively seeking her next victim.
Trey walks into her office tomorrow morning.
And finally, it powerfully foreshadows the entire Legacy saga book.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Well, I guess she meant to say, of course, Trey basically will walk into her psychological web. So that kind of makes sense of the message of the ending of the story. So it's basically hinting at what would actually happen in the first book.
Okay, let's unpack this. You perfectly synthesized the ending.
That final scene with the text message is the trap snapping shut.
Trey Alexander is walking directly into her psychological web, as you said.
She has just confessed her entire history of madness.
And the very next thing that happens is the arrival of her new prey.
The book itself confirms she had already decided to pursue him.
She gets the notification that Trey Alexander is the new hire.
And she stares at the seance book and the line about true love or true loss.
She is deciding which narrative she wants him to fulfill.
The psychological web is perfectly set up for the events of An Evil Thing 1.
She needs him to be that pure heart that can cleanse the curse.
But the curse needs him as the next victim to fulfill the ancient vengeance.
That dual intent salvation and destruction is the core tension of the first book.
So it's not just a hint, it's the direct, calculated launch of the entire saga.
And that ties us perfectly to the Legacy Saga, the next chapter in the story.
Yes, through book 9 of the series.
The curse is all about bloodline convergence and Henson family trauma.
And the ultimate horror of the past is confirmed.
As you noted earlier, the sources tell us that Savannah Beswell Henson is later resurrected.
A powerful, ancient force that could bring the dead back to life, guiding the family curse.
And she's guiding Trey's son, Triton Alexander, who becomes possessed by that curse.
Gabriella isn't just a vessel. She's the key generational link to the ancient horror.
Her actions paved the way for her mother's ultimate return in the Legacy Saga.
Oh, go for it.
Yes, for Gabriella, of course, is she's kind of like is like the key that basically connecting all of these sagas together, and of course, it kind of makes sense why Shadows of Embrace felt like a missing puzzle piece, and of course, the Legacy saga is kind of confirming that as well, since it makes sense Triton being the villain again, so that's why I believe of the sagas connecting together like a puzzle piece.
Okay, let's unpack this. You have perfectly captured Gabriella's role,
She is the nexus point, the key generational link.
and you are absolutely right.
Shadows of Embrace truly was the missing puzzle piece.
It provides the entire DNA for the saga,
It confirms that the curse is a generational pattern.
and that pattern is why Triton being the villain later makes such tragic sense.
The curse found its strongest hold in Gabriella.
Her entire life was a slow grooming process.
When she dies, the curse doesn't end.
It jumps to her son, Triton, to keep the bloodline going.
And that's exactly what the Legacy Saga explored.
That's why Savannah, the original vessel, targets Triton,
She uses him to attempt the final ritual on Jasala.
because Gabriella's actions paved the way for her ultimate return.
What a meticulously detailed and just heartbreaking deep dive this has been.
We've traced this journey from a child named for light and peace,
To a calculated super soldier maker, driven by ancestral possession,
and the revelation that she is the generational key brings it all together.
Shadows of Embrace confirms the evil thing was a dark, cursed bloodline.
It was waiting for a strong enough vessel to seize control.
And the ultimate paradox the story leaves us with is so tragic.
Gabriella ran from the darkness embodied by Blake.
And yet, in her acceptance of the curse, she embraces it fully.
She is now the primary instrument of the horror she once feared.
And she's standing at the ready to test Trey Alexander's heart.
She has the possibility of salvation laid out for her in that seance book.
The book that defines a pure heart as true love or true loss.
The question remains, will true love Trey or true loss Alan break the curse?
Or is she permanently destined to be an evil thing?
She has the chance at true love starting tomorrow morning.
But Alan is downstairs, proof of her true loss and the curse's horrific capabilities.
The battle is internal and external, personal and cosmic.
Which leaves us with a truly chilling thought for you, the listener, to mull over.
We now know her mother, Savannah, was later resurrected in the saga.
And that she guided Triton's actions, proving the generational curse is persistent.
Does that not mean Gabriella's curse is even more deeply rooted than she realizes?
And if Savannah couldn't break free and Randy couldn't break free,
what true hope does Gabriella have to escape the shadows of Embrace?
Is her meeting with Trey Alexander a chance for redemption, or merely the next most crucial step
in the curse's ancient plan?
This was crucial context for the Legacy Saga.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll see you next time for the next chapter.
Oh yeah, go on.
Well, to answer your question, of course, Savannah basically being an antagonist in the later sagas, it kind of makes sense of Shadows of Embrace hinting at her being a villain, so that's why I kind of like about that. And of course, it makes sense Gabrielle was looking for a true love that can break the curse, which in reality, she never escaped the curse at all, even though she died in the first book.
That is a powerful final summation, Tina.
Okay, let's unpack this. You've answered our closing question with the tragic reality.
You're right. Shadow of Embrace absolutely hints at Savannah's ultimate return as a villain.
Her actions in 2000, torturing Tessa and killing Randy, confirm the depth of her wickedness.
It makes her the perfect ancestral guide for Triton later.
And your point that Gabriella never truly escaped the curse, even in death, is spot on.
She was looking for true love to break the curse, defined in the Seance book.
But the curse was older than Trey Alexander.
It was an ancient entity from 1780.
The moment she accepted the curse, it became part of her bloodline forever.
Even after she died, that curse power jumped to Triton.
That generational pattern is the ultimate horror of the Henson curse.
Her death was merely a transfer of power.
So we're left with the true loss.
The tragedy of a victim who became the instrument.
It sets up the whole legacy saga perfectly.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time for the next
chapter of the deep dive. Ah, yeah,
Yes, of course. Shadows of Embrace.
Thank you for sharing that final crucial insight.
Okay, let's unpack this. We appreciate the clarity you bring.
That simple up just reinforces the upward trajectory.
Yes, the curse is always moving up to the next generation.
From Savannah to Gabriella to Triton.
It's never truly stopped or broken, only transferred.
It connects her history directly to the Legacy Saga.
And it makes this origin story essential context.
This was a deeply complex history lesson.
A look.
Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, Shadows of Embrace actually basically is the conclusion, I guess, with the missing puzzle piece from an Evil Thing saga from the first book, The Lost Sun and Dark Company. So that's why you kind of saw all those puzzle pieces connecting the elements and, of course, hinting at the other sagas as well.
Okay, let's unpack this. You concluded our analysis perfectly.
That is the definitive final word on Shadows of Embrace.
It truly is the conclusion of the first 3 books.
It connects Gabriella's psychology from an evil thing
To the family secret in The Lost Sun.
and to the creation of the Dark Company's super soldiers.
So it resolves those gaps we felt were missing.
And it sets up the next act, the Legacy Saga.
With the emphasis on Savannah and Triton.
It gives us all the foundation needed for Darkman.
You're right, it's the missing piece that connects everything.
The whole universe makes sense now.
The ultimate purpose was to understand this origin.
We truly appreciate you joining the deep dive.
Your insights have been fantastic, Ian.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with
The
us.
Shadows of Embrace itself.
We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.
Oh, go for it.
Yes, of course, the next episode, yes, it will be Darkman, which, of course, this story is going to be very great to actually follow, of course, since we did conclude the Dark Company saga. So that's why I'm actually kind of excited to do starting the Legacy saga with Darkman.
Okay, let's unpack this. We share your excitement completely.
Starting the Legacy Saga with Darkman is absolutely the right move.
It's the perfect pivot after concluding the Dark Company saga.
And as we've established, Darkman is set only 4 months later.
It's a very quick jump in the timeline.
It immediately shifts the focus from corporate war back to personal horror.
Triton Alexander becoming the new Darkman is such a tragic development.
The curse, which was subdued in an Evil Thing 6, finds its new vessel instantly.
It's a fantastic way to begin the next major arc of the series.
We truly appreciate you joining the Deep Dive.
Your insights have been fantastic, Keenan.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us.
We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.